So I apologize that it's taking me so long to get back to you with some detailed information. I technically am not supposed to be doing this, but as you and I both know, Monday is rolling around quickly, and I have yet to get you anything. So even though the department doesn't want me to, I am going to send out the details of our class with you today. Um, Before we do that, though, I want to take a moment to just hold space for however you're feeling right now. We're in really, really bizarre times, and it's okay to feel anxious and nervous and scared and overwhelmed. Um, and I also recognize that it's kind of a big ask to also also be completing a course right now, multiple courses, while this is going on. So I just wanted to take a moment to say whatever you're feeling is valid, and you know, I'm here for you in whatever way I possibly can be to help you get through this course, but also to help you get through the next couple of weeks because we're kind of in uncharted territory. So I just wanted to take a moment to say I'm feeling it too, and we're going to get through this slowly, one day at a time, okay? Okay, so now that the mushy stuff is out of the way, let's get down to business. So let's start with eLearn. On your eLearn page, and I do have a video also attached to the email that will walk through this. It's a screen recording of me accessing this content. But there is a new folder that you're going to want to look for, and it's called Spring 2020 Updated Curriculum. We've essentially moved everything that you need to focus on into that folder. Right now, you can still see the other modules, but I'm considering hiding those so you can only get to this one spot. But essentially just know that that's where you need to go for the rest of the semester. It's all hanging out there. Within that page, there are also these instructional lectures specifically for the invitational speech as well as the persuasive speech. So it's not me. I'm not the person talking in these audio lectures, but they may actually be helpful for you in understanding these two speeches. I'll still be here for questions. You'll still be checking in with me, but it's something you kind of have on hand to help get you through. They will be in their corresponding pages, so under invitational speaking, under persuasive speaking, and those will be titled learning activities. So I would recommend checking those out. So that's just kind of baseline, the differences that you'll see in eLearn. In terms of the content for this course, here are some of the key changes. First and foremost, we are dropping the special occasion speech. It's a bummer. It's one of my favorite speeches that we do, but in terms of meeting the learning outcomes, it probably does that the least. So you only have the invitational and the persuasive speech to finish out the remainder of the semester. We have also dropped all of the self-reflections for those speeches. So you won't have to do a self-reflection for the invitational or the persuasive. We will just be moving forward without those. Okay. So in terms of how are you going to give your speech, there's a piece of me that would love for all of us to log on together and for you to give your speeches real time. But the reality is there's just a lot of moving pieces to make that work effectively. And so instead, you are going to be recording your speeches at home in front of an audience. Now, you will see on eLearn that SINCLAIR has very specific guidelines for what an audience is, and that's 4 to 8 people, which unless you live in a large family or you have several roommates, it's just not going to be possible in a pandemic where our recommendation is to not leave the house. Okay, so you need to work with what you got. You do need to give the speech in front of somebody. I would like it to be at least 2 people. If you are unable to get at least 2 people, then talk to me and we'll figure something out. But that's the goal. You are going to be recording your own speeches. So you can do that in a couple of different ways. If you're recording on your device, so your mobile device, your iPad, your computer, which would be my recommendation to you. You are going to need to, and this is honestly with any way of recording, you need to make sure that you show the audience, that we can see the audience before you deliver your speech, and also the audience at the end to show me that you've delivered this in front of people consistently. But let's say you're recording it on your own device, then you have to get it to me. There is a Dropbox available on eLearn. So there's a couple of things you can do. You can upload it directly to eLearn, but that's going to take a really long time. You may have to condense the file down. So for me, that's probably not the most recommended method, although you certainly can try. What I typically do and what works best for me is I use Google Drive, and then I copy and paste the link into a document or into eLearn and submit it that way. I can only speak for having an iPhone, but I have a Google Drive app. So I record it on my phone. I then upload it to Google Drive through the app. Takes a little bit of time, and then you get a shareable link that you can send out. So that's certainly a way to do it. Another way to do it would be to start a YouTube page like I have and just upload it to the YouTube page. You can keep that page private and only send me the link. So either of those methods would work for me receiving your video. You can't just send it via email. The file's going to be too large, and so you're not going to have success doing it that way. If you are unable to record on a device, there is a website called Pop Video Capture. I have more information about that in the email in which you clicked the link to get to this video. But it's basically a space for you to record videos and then send them or upload them to me via that website. I think there's an easier way, but I'm just presenting all of the information available to you. You will still have a visual aid requirement, so you will still have to do PowerPoint slides. You'll be submitting those to me. I would prefer if you could use your visual aid as you are speaking. So, for example, setting up your laptop, using the PowerPoint to go through, and then also submitting the slides and hopefully somebody recording on your phone. So that would be ideal. But again, these are not ideal conditions. So if you're unable to do that, if something else is going on, please talk to me and we'll figure it out. So that's kind of what's going on with recording speeches and all of that stuff, how it'll work. Okay. In terms of, so we are still keeping the quizzes. They are now found under a section labeled quizzes instead of housed in the smaller modules. So just click into quizzes and then go ahead and take those. Please make sure you're taking those corresponding with this specific content. I've already changed all of the dates. We will also still be doing a planning form for the persuasive speech. I'm not sure if I've said that. Okay. So in terms, I think I've covered all of the major changes in the class. Things will look a little bit different in terms of structure and due dates. And the reason for that is because we're essentially utilizing the online version of this class, which already exists at SINCLAIR. So whereas I typically had a lot of things due at 11:59, most of your assignments now will be due Fridays at 5 p.m. There is only a little bit of wiggle room I have in terms of making changes, and I feel like I've utilized them in the ways that I see fit. So those deadline changes will stay. Just make sure that you are, again, reviewing the updated course schedule, especially because I'm not there to remind you now. Make sure that you're uploading, those reminders to your phone and to wherever else, tell mom and dad, tell your husband or wife, your partner to remind you so that you are getting your stuff done on time. So in terms of our to-do list for this next week, couple of things. If you have yet to take the poll for which virtual learning platform we're going to use, please do that. You can find that on the email I sent out previously. Okay. Right now I am leaning towards utilizing Zoom. I think it's a little bit more user friendly and I can do more with it. I can share my screen. I can type actively throughout it. We can all see each other at the exact same time should we want to. And you don't have to have a physical computer or tablet. You can use your mobile device. So I'm leaning towards Zoom, but please, please, please vote in that doodle. So that's number one. Number two, if you have not yet taken the visual aids quiz, please do so. Of course, starting on Monday, but that needs to be taken care of. That was kind of a lingering quiz from the week that we left classes. So please make sure that you're taking care of that. Know going into this week, your invitational rough draft outline or your preparation outline will be due by Friday. Okay. So, when you wake up on Monday, know that that is a task that is going to need to be accomplished throughout the week. And then I'm also going to be attaching to the email in which you got this link, an additional link to sign it up for a check-in time with me. So I'm going to be holding check-ins the week of the 29th on both Monday and Wednesday. And those are going to be individual time slots. I think they're 10 minutes a piece for you to check in with me and let me know how you're doing on your speech. So it'll just be one-on-one time. It'll be an opportunity for you to ask me any questions. At that point, I will have already looked over your rough draft. So I'll be able to give you specific feedback. And I think it's going to be a good way for us to maintain contact. So I want you to fill out what time slot you'd like to meet with me at by Friday of next week, so that I have a better understanding of who I'm going to be meeting with and when. Okay, well, I have officially rambled on for over 10 minutes. I hope that you found this helpful. Again, make sure that you are reviewing all of the materials for the course, review the updated course schedule, review eLearn, go through all of those changes, and please, 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 you have to reach out to me if you have questions. I cannot know that you are struggling, that you're unsure, that you don't know what you're doing unless you reach out to me. Okay. And then just last but not least, I just want to say, everybody, please be safe. Please make sure you are taking this seriously. I know that there is a lot of rhetoric going around that this is not impacting young people, and the research is just showing us that that is not accurate. About 40% of the people that are being hospitalized right now are from the ages of 20 to 50. This is real, and this is also impacting you guys, okay? So please, please make sure that you are staying home. Please make sure that you are observing social distance, 6 feet or larger. Make sure you are washing your hands and you are being acutely aware of who you are coming into contact and making sure that you're protecting yourself. It is our only option for slowing this thing down. And even if you are a completely healthy person, there are other people that are not. You know, my mom has lupus. My brother has asthma. I really love my grandma. You know what I mean? So we need to come together collectively to make this better. Okay. All right. I'll hop off of my soapbox now. Thank you guys so much. And I can't wait to check in with all of you. Oh, and quick reminder. I will be setting up, I'm checking the dates here of when I said I was going to be meeting with your class. I am going to be doing a trial session on whichever platform we are going to be using on Sunday of this week at 8:30 p.m. If you are able to make it to that so that you can run through any troubleshooting, so that you can ask me any questions, please, please, please do it. If not, of course, we will get you caught up to speed, but I think that would be a good option. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. I will talk to you all soon.